Good morning, friends. Welcome back to the class. I hope you all are safe and healthy too. Now, in this session, we are going to discuss few important sums will be considered as higher order thinking skill questions under the maxima and minima concept. So, this will be the last session for maxima and minima concept where we will discuss selected 5 sums from NCERT which are considered as HOTS. Reason behind is these questions have a different type of solutions, different type of thinking process and logics. So that is why I consider these questions in the HOTS session. So just try to understand, and it is so simple session where you will enjoy the sums even. Okay, so only 5 sums we are going to take already there. From 6.5 there are 2 questions, 11 and 27, and from miscellaneous example 15, question number 8 and question number 12 in a sequence. So without wasting much time, let's have a discussion on that. Already question number 11 is written on the board. Let's try to understand what is that. If this function attains a maximum value at x is equal to 1 in this interval, what is the value of a? There is a variable a is involved, right? If this function attains the maximum value at x is equal to 1 in the given interval, what is the possible values of a? You know, when function is attained the maximum value or minimum value, it means that by default what we assumed that key at that point means that is the highest point of the graph where the tangent is parallel to x-axis. It means at that particular point derivative of the function is equal to 0. So we are going to use that concept only to find the value of a. So what is the first function is given as to f of x is equal to x to the power of 4 minus 62x square plus ax plus 9. And what is the derivative of this function? Is 4x cube minus 124x plus a. So this is derivative, but derivative of the function at x is equal to 1 must be equal to 0, because what they said, the function attains the maximum value at 1. So at 1, right, the tangent is parallel to x-axis, matlab derivative of the function at x is equal to 1 must be equal to 0. Hence just in the derivative substitute 1 over here, then ultimately it will give the value of a in simple manner. I think the value of a will be 120 over. It's so simple, बट वो एक क्लिक होने का जो एक थॉट प्रोसेस है वो मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट है इस क्वेश्चन में. It's just our marker question. Okay, so just you can have a look what was the discussion. Simple. If any function attains the maximum value or minimum value at a given point, it means at this point the function derivative must be 0. This is the concept behind this. That's all we were using, and we got the value of a. Then move to the question number 27. What is question number 27? Right? So I'm writing, it's a single line question, right? Find the point on the curve, find the point on the curve, on the curve, x square is equal to 2y, which is, which is nearest, nearest to the point, nearest to the point 0 comma 5. Find the point on the curve which is nearest to this point 0 comma 5. Nearest means which is at a minimum distance. The language which they are using, basically it's related to maxima and minima only. So they need to find a point on the curve which is very nearest to this point. So just to understand this question, I am making a simple curve first. Let us say this is the curve x square is equal to 2, 1, and there is a point P on the curve in the form of some h comma k, and there is a point in the same plane, there is a point 0 comma 5, right, is another point q in the plane, and I assumed this is a point which is nearest to this point. So I wanted to find the point on the curve which is at a minimum distance from this point. So distance between these 2 points must be minimum. So hence it is related to maxima minima question. Okay. So I have to make the distance. This is the distance between this required point to the given point is D. So I have to find a point on the curve which is at a minimum distance from the given point 0 comma 5. So I have to make this distance minimum. This is the objective of my question. So first of all, what I have to prove, what I have to find first, what to find, right? I have to find the point P h comma k such that PQ is minimum. PQ is minimum. So this is what the question says. So ultimately the distance function must be minimum, hence distance function should be derivated. Okay. So distance, first I will apply the distance formula now. For that, what is the distance formula? Under root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. So hence distance will be h minus 0 the whole square plus 5 minus k the whole square, right? And you may also speak by squaring on both the sides. D square is equal to h square plus you may also speak 25 plus k square minus 10k. But we know before start the differentiation of the function, it must be in one single variable. But here we are having two different variables. So we need to convert the one into other. h को k में या k को h में convert करके फिर हम derivative पे जाएंगे. For that, if we observe the figure, this h comma k point, which is we called required point on the graph, be already there on the graph, so h comma k must satisfy the function. Hence, what we will say here, p is a function, sorry, p is a point, p lies on the function f of x, that is this, or you may also speak p lies on x square plus 2y, which implies that x square is equal to 2k. So this is the relation I'm having between h and k. So I'm going to use this relation x square is equal to 2k in this equation. So d square is equal to, it becomes what? 2k plus 25 plus k square minus 10k. So final equation in terms of k, I got k square, right, minus 8k plus 25, right? So this is the equation I got, the function which has to be derivated. Now if I do the derivative of this function to get the critical point, and then we'll go for double derivative, and then we'll prove this is minimum, and we'll find the value of k and h. That's all. So let's just go for the derivative. D square whole dash is equal to 2k minus 8, and double derivative of this function is what? 2. So this is result number 2, this is result number 3. Then let the first derivative is equal to 0 for critical points. So I'm going to get k is equal to 4, and this is the only critical point. So at k is equal to 4, you may see the double derivative is remains same, which is greater than 0. Therefore d, that is what? Distance, right? PQ is minimum at k is equal to 4. If k is 4, then what is the value of h? So therefore, now if k is equal to 4 gives h square is equal to 8, so h is equal to under root of 8 plus minus, so h is equal to plus minus 2 root 2. Therefore, the required point on the graph, that is x square is equal to 2y, is 4 comma plus minus 2 root 2. Okay, so this is the question, how simple it is, but the only thing is how to begin with, that matters a lot. So question is clear to you all. So this is what the distance between these points, the required point has to be minimized such that we need to find a point on the graph. So I have to minimize the distance function. Hence first I have used the distance formula, then I have converted into single variable, then I gone for first derivative, second derivative, critical point, double derivative, greater than 0 means minimum. Then I have substituted value of k to find h. When I got h and k means I got the required point. That's all. Then we'll move on to the example 51, that is in the miscellaneous exercise. So two questions are over. Now we are moving to example 51. What is that? Yeah. Example 51. What is there in the example 51? Let's have a look on this. Manufacturers can sell X items at a price of rupees each, 5 minus X by 100. The cost price of X items is this. Find the number of items should he sell to earn maximum profit. So it is business related question where they are giving the terms cost price and selling price, and they are looking for maximum profit. So first of all, I am writing the given information in the example number 51. What is the glitch in this one? See, they sold X items, right? Selling price is given like 5 minus X upon 100. This is per item. This is per item. And the total cost price of selling X items is rupees, you can say, here also rupees you can say, X upon 5 plus 500. This is what the total cost price of selling X units. And what they wanted to find? They wanted to find the number of item what to find. They wanted to find the number of items, that is X number of items are sold. How many number of item has to be, right, sold, so that to be sell, number of item has to be sell such that profit has to be maximum, to gain the maximum profit, to gain maximum profit, right? This is a question and it's a general question. हर कोई बिजनेस पर्सन यही चाहता है कि जब वो कोई बिजनेस करे तो कितने यूनिट्स सेल करे ताकि उसका प्रॉफिट मैक्सिमम हो, या हम कितने, अगर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट की बात करूं तो हम यही फाइंड आउट करते हैं कि कितने मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ यूनिट सेल करे ताकि सॉरी प्रोड्यूस करे ताकि उसका जो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कॉस्ट है वो कम हो। यही तो ऑब्जेक्टिव है बिजनेस का। आइदर यू आर मूविंग विद maximum profit or you are moving with the minimum cost. So in this question they wanted to make a maximum profit and they wanted to know the number of items to be sold at this given selling price and cost price. Now what is the glitch in this question is, if you observe the two figures, these two are in a different manner they are giving. See, selling price is given this rupees per item, not the total selling price it is a per item. But cost price is given as total cost price of X items. So, if the student is taking profit as selling price minus directly cost price, that is the biggest mistake the student is going to do. So we know the profit function, that is selling price minus cost price, will always give the profit. So that has to be derivative and all. But while applying this formula, you need to remember profit means the total selling price minus total cost price. So total cost price is directly given, but here the selling price is given per item. So how many items are sold? X. So what is the total selling price then? X into this figure. So that is the only critical point while reading this question. So it basically in this question they are checking the reading skill of the reader. Okay. Now see. So what to find here? We need to find the maximum profit. We need to find the number of items sold to get the maximum profit. So profit function has to be derivated. So profit function denoted by P, or you may write P of X, because we are dealing in number of items X. Profit function is equal to selling price of X units minus cost price of X units. So profit function now given by selling price of X unit means 5 minus X by 100 into X. This is the important point. Minus cost price is directly given of already, this is a cost price of X items, this is the selling price of one item. That's why we need to multiply the selling price cost into X units to get the total selling price. And then profit function is what? After multiplication you will get 5x minus x square by 100 minus x upon 5 minus 500. I think you got the profit function here directly in terms of single variable. Now I don't think there is a glitch in the question remain. You can go with first derivative, second derivative, let first derivative is 0, get the critical point, and then go for double derivative test and find out whether the profit is maximum or minimum. At what point of X the function gains maximum, then find it out. Okay, so I am just leaving the solution for you here. I believe you definitely able to solve this question. Only the part where you require the assistance is the beginning part. So that is the problem is solved over here. So without wasting much time, we are going to now discuss the question number 8 from the textbook, that is from the miscellaneous exercise. Question number 8. Now here question number 8 need a complete assistance. Why? Because let's have a look on that. Yeah. Question number 8. What is that? Question number 8 says find the maximum area of the isosceles triangle which is inscribed in the ellipse with its vertex at one end of the major axis. I repeat, find the maximum area of the isosceles triangle which is inscribed in the ellipse. Equation is x square by, general equation it is x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1 with its vertex at one end of the major axis. So this is the question. First, I'll try to draw the figure so that you can get an idea what we are looking for. First of all, we need to draw a figure. Let us, it is a major axis. I am taking the horizontal ellipse. You may also deal with vertical ellipse. So by default, we are taking the horizontal one because we are very familiar with the horizontal ellipse. So I am just drawing the horizontal ellipse. It is the center of the ellipse, and these are the endpoints of our vertex is called vertex of major axis, and these are the called vertex of minor axis. Okay, so now what they have done, they have inscribed an isosceles triangle in this ellipse in such a manner one of the vertices coincide with the end point of the major axis, and the equation of, here see what they have done, they have inscribed, first of all, what is the equation here given to us? Triangle is inscribed here. See, you may also speak from here also. There are several possible ways to draw because we don't know how it looks like. So by default, I'm assuming that this is a required triangle which is inscribed in an isosceles, which is isosceles triangle where the two sides are equal. I can also name this one A, B, C, and C is a point which is the vertex of the triangle is coincide with the vertex of the major axis. So this is a possible case of, one of the possible case of the figure where isosceles triangle is inscribed in the ellipse where it has a maximum area, right? So this area of the triangle has to be maximum. This area of the triangle has to be maximum. And the equation of this ellipse is given as x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. So this is all about the question. I am writing what is given first. Given is the ellipse. Means you cannot change the shape of the ellipse where a and b are constants. Remember, because it's a given ellipse, hence in a given thing, given figure, dimensions cannot be changed. So a and b are treated as a constants, their length are fixed. Now in a given figure, what to find? What to find? The right area of the triangle, that is area of triangle ABC is maximum, and find its area. Find its area. Show that the area of isosceles triangle is maximum, and find also its area. Also find its area. So to find this area of the triangle, we need to derivative the area of triangle formula. So I am writing area of triangle formula. That is a fundamental formula. What is the area of triangle formula we have? Delta, I am showing with area of triangle, is half into base into height. So this is a formula. Just look at this and just try to apply the formula here, and since it is symmetric about the axis, you may say it is a right angle. So hence I can also name this point as D. So CD will act as a height of the triangle. CD is act as a height of the triangle. AB is act as a base. So I am writing area of triangle is equal to half into AB into CD. And I don't know anything about the vertex of the triangle except C, because I know if this is an ellipse, if this is a vertex of the major axis, the coordinates of vertex will be a comma 0 and minus a comma 0. Hence, I can definitely speak the coordinate of C is a comma 0. That is in terms of the constants a and b. But I don't know the coordinates of a and b, right? So this question can be solved in various ways, but if you take the help of trigonometry here, then this question will be very easy for you. Okay, so for that, yeah, I am taking the help of parametric form of the equation. Parametric form of the equation means there is a point, it means the x and y are expressible in terms of third variable. Already you know parametric form of equation. X and y are two variables are connected to the third variable which satisfying the given equation, which satisfying the given ellipse. So this is called parametric form of the equation. So I am taking the help of parametric form. I am taking the help of trigonometry. By combining these two things, I will be able to write the area of triangle in simplest way. Thereafter, the rest of the part will be very simple. The only the beginning part of this question is so important. That's why this question has been taken in the higher order thinking skill question, where you need a lot of practice on this and where you need to remember the logics and tricks. Fine. I am taking the parametric form of the equation which satisfying this one, which also satisfying the graphical part. Okay, so where parametric form means x is equal to, let x is equal to a cos theta and y is equal to b sin theta. These two are called parametric form of the equations which always satisfying the ellipse equation. Because if x comma y, if I am taking x comma y is a point anywhere on the graph, that is anywhere on the ellipse, let us say P is a point whose coordinates are, let us say, minus x comma y, because it's in the second quadrant, nothing else. So definitely this x and y means if I substitute x as a cos theta, y as b sin theta, it definitely satisfies the ellipse equation. And as you know, in trigonometry also we have studied about the unit circle. The horizontal component means the x component is always in terms of cos theta and the vertical component is always in terms of the sin theta. This we have studied in 11th standard trigonometry, where we were discussing about the unit circle, okay, with the help of reference triangle. So the base component means the x component is always representing cos theta function and the y component is representing the sin theta function. In that manner, I have taken x as a cos theta, y as b sin theta, which we called as parametric form of the equation. This parametric form is always satisfying the given ellipse. So wherever the point on the graph. So I can use this parametric form to get the base and the height. That is what we required in the formula. So to get the base and height, now I can speak if x is a cos theta, y is b sin theta. So definitely I can able to speak the coordinates of A and coordinates of B and coordinates of C. Okay, so C is already there because that is A comma 0. Now only I am writing the vertex of A. So vertex of A, because since it is in the first quadrant, the coordinates will be in the form of x comma y. So what is the parametric form of x comma y which satisfying the ellipses? A cos theta comma b sin theta, right? So if this is a cos theta comma b sin theta, what does it mean? If I joined OA, remember दीजिए थोड़ा सा समझने की कोशिश करना आप लोग, ये बहुत इजी हो जाएगा. देखिए, so this is basically a theta. Okay, so this is basically a theta. So now in this right angle triangle, what we are speaking about is the base part. This is OD, है ना? Basically this is what? OD. Length of OD is A cos theta and length of AD is B sin theta. This is length of AD. Are you getting? So if I take the parametric form, that is x comma y in terms of theta, then the coordinates of A is already in the first quadrant, so x comma y form. Then coordinates of A will be A cos theta comma B sin theta. Hence, so what is theta here? Theta is the angle subtended by the line segment joining the origin to that particular point. जिस point पे आप बात कर रहे हो, origin से इस point तक join करेंगे. So whatever the angle formed by that is called theta. So with the help of this right angle triangle, I can say here OD, that is a base part, is representing the cos theta component and the height part is representing the sin theta component. Hence OD is what? A cos theta. AD is what? B sin theta. If AD is B sin theta, then total base of the triangle will be twice of B sin theta. So that is what I am writing now. So just keep it aside here. First I am writing here from the figure. From the figure, what I can say here, OD is what? A cos theta, right? So ultimately I required DC, that is the height of the triangle I required. So DC is given by OC minus OD. So what is OC? O से मतलब origin से यहाँ तक जो length होता है semi major axis, that is A minus OD is A cos theta. So finally I got the length of DC as A into 1 minus cos theta. ODC is done. Now length of AD, that is a vertical component of this point, is B sin theta. It implies that length of AB is twice of AD, hence which implies AB is equal to 2B sin theta. So now I got the length of DC, length of AB in terms of theta, which I have introduced as the parameter. Therefore, I can write now the area of triangle in terms of theta as length of AB is 2B sin theta into length of CD is, that is DC बोलो या CD बोलो, what is that? A into 1 minus cos theta. So 2 get cancelled. So area of triangle in simplified form AB sin theta minus sine theta into cos theta. So I got the area of triangle formula in terms of theta as a parameter. Rest a and b are constants. So this is the beginning part of this question, right? So once you do this, then it is very simple to find derivative, double derivative, critical point. To prove it is area is maximum, to find the area of the triangle also. Okay. So let this result number 1. Now we'll go with the derivative, we'll find everything. Now see. What is the first derivative speaks? AB into derivative of sine theta is cos theta. Then here you need to apply product rule. So sine theta into derivative of this is minus sine theta. So plus sine square theta hoga. Then minus cos theta into sine theta derivative is cos theta. So it becomes cos square theta. Okay, this is the first derivative is done. Now second derivative, that is delta double dash AB. Cos theta derivative is minus sine theta. It's now 2 sine theta cos theta. And 2 cos theta minus sine theta becomes plus 2 sine theta cos theta. So double derivative can be reduced as minus sine theta plus 4 sine theta into cos theta. This is the double derivative. And what's the next process? Let the single derivative equal to 0, which implies that AB into cos theta plus sine square theta minus cos square theta equal to 0. So AB will go in denominator. And to solve any trigonometric equation, I have told you it must be in a single t ratio. We are having cos over here, cos over here. We can convert this sign also in terms of cos by writing it as 1 minus cos square theta. If I do that, cos theta plus 1 minus cos square theta minus cos square theta equal to 0. So if you simplify this, minus 2 cos square theta, by taking minus common, I can speak 2 cos square theta minus cos theta minus 1 equal to 0. Now I can split this quadratic equation by using splitting middle term method. So 2 cos square theta minus 2 cos theta plus cos theta minus 1 equal to 0. 2 cos theta is common, so cos theta minus 1. So I am directly writing the factorized one. Cos theta minus 1 equal to 0. Means what are the critical points I am going to get. So I am just erasing this part just for the space purpose. Sorry. And then this also. Now what we have, what are the critical points we are going to get. Okay. So either here it implies that cos theta, cos theta is equal to minus 1 by 2 or cos theta is equal to 1. Again, this critical point is not possible. If cos theta is equal to 1, so theta is equal to what? 90 degree. And here in this right angle triangle, theta cannot be 90 because this theta is acute angle, we assumed, right? So hence it cannot be a 90. So hence this is a valid critical point. If cos theta is equal to 1 minus 1 by 2, it means theta is equal to what? Cos theta is negative. So pi minus what we called here 180 minus theta. So cos theta की value 1 by 2. It means at 60 degree it's 1 by 2 pi by 3. Pi minus pi by 3, or implies we can say it is 2 pi by 3. So the required angle at which right cos theta value is minus 1 by 2. Now I got one critical point. At this critical point I am going to check the sign of second derivative, whether it is negative or positive. So I am taking the double derivative now. So put theta value in what we called as double derivative. So delta double dash. So what is the delta double dash? Delta double dash is equal to AB into minus sine theta plus 4 times of sine theta into cos theta. So delta double dash AB is equal to minus sine 2 pi by 3 plus 4 times of sine 2 pi by 3 into cos 2 pi by 3. So already we know the value of cos 2 pi by 3 value is minus 1 by 2 and only sine 2 pi by 3 की value क्या होगा? Sine pi minus theta is sine theta only, that is sine pi by 3. Sine 60 की value हो गया root 3 by 2. So sine 2 pi by 3 value is simply root 3 by 2. Root 3 by 2. This value is already there, minus 1 by 2. I am substituting those values over here. AB into minus, that is root 3 by 2 plus 4 times of root 3 by 2 into minus 1 by 2. Okay, so now see 2, 2 and 4 get cancelled. Root 3 is common. So I can take, yeah, minus root 3 is, yeah, you may also like speak AB into minus root 3 by 2 minus root 3. Okay, this is a left portion. You may also take LCM and all to speak. So AB upon 2 into minus 3 root 3. You can see this total product is negative. Therefore, what you can say here, area of triangle ABC is maximum at theta is equal to 2 pi by 3. Getting? So we got the first one. We have proved that the area of triangle is maximum at what critical point? 2 pi by 3. Now, what is the left one? We need to find its area. So to find the area, already we got the simplified one. अब देखिए यहाँ से हम एरिया ऑफ ट्राइंगल का फॉर्मूला हम जहां से डेरिवेटिव स्टार्ट किया था उसमें हम थीटा की वैल्यू रख देंगे 2 पाई बाई 3. यू विल डेफिनेटली एबल टू गेट द आंसर. ओके, सो अगर आप देखेंगे यहाँ पर साइन थीटा की वैल्यू हम क्या पुट करेंगे? रूट 3 बाई 2 और कॉस थीटा की वैल्यू ऑलरेडी माइनस 1 बाई 2 है, तो वो भी आप पुट कर सकते हो डायरेक्टली, या थीटा की वैल्यू आप 2 पाई बाई 3 पुट करेंगे तो भी एरिया मिल जाएगा. सो वो मैं यहाँ डायरेक्टली आपको सॉल्व करके दिखा रहा हूँ कि व्हाट इज अ नाउ एरिया ऑफ ट्राइंगल डायरेक्टली बाय सब्स्टिट्यूटिंग sin थीटा एंड cos थीटा वैल्यू. सो ए बी, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यहाँ से आप sin थीटा कॉमन भी ले सकते हो, फिर आप सब्स्टिट्यूट कर सकते हो. देयर आर सेवरल वेज टू स्पीक. So root 3 by 2 minus root 3 by 2 into minus 1 by 2. I have simply substituted sin theta and cos theta values in the formula. So it will be what? Minus into minus plus. So 4 is a LCM. So AB upon 4 into, ये हो जाएगा 4 LCM हो तो 2 root 3 plus root 3, 3 root 3. So final answer is 3 root 3 by 4 AB square units. So this is the area of triangle, which is a required area of triangle, isosceles triangle, which is inscribed in an ellipse such that one of the vertex is coincide with the vertex of the major axis. See, आपको लग रहा है कि ट्रिग्नोमेट्री हेल्प लिया और मैंने पैरामीट्रिक फॉर्म का हेल्प लिया तो ही आपको लग रहा है कि ये लेंदी है. तो सोचिए अगर इसको आप अलजेब्रा लेके चले तो कितना कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सॉल्यूशन होता है. और ये क्वेश्चन भी फ्रीक्वेंटली बोर्ड्स में 6 मार्क्स में पूछा गया. सो जस्ट हैव अ प्रैक्टिस टिल दिस पार्ट मेजरली ये क्वेश्चन का जो प्रैक्टिस है ना वो आपका बिगिनिंग वाली पार्ट है, हाउ टू गेट द एरिया ऑफ ट्राइंगल इनटू सिंगल वेरिएबल। और वो वेरिएबल लाने के लिए मैंने पैरामेट्रिक फॉर्म का हेल्प लिया और ट्रिग्नोमेट्रिक रेशियोज का हेल्प लिया, जिससे मेरे को इसका बेस, ट्राइंगल का बेस और ट्राइंगल का हाइट मिला। इससे मैंने फंडामेंटल फॉर्मूला यूज किया, हाफ इंटू बेस इंटू हाइट टू गेट दी area of triangle formula in single variable, that is theta। ओके, अब थीटा के लैंग्वेज में ही पूरा सॉल्व करके आपको बता दिया कि एरिया ऑफ ट्राइंगल इज मैक्सिमम और उसका जो एरिया आएगा वो 3√3/4 AB। here A and B are the constants, that is length of semi major axis and length of semi minor axis. That's all about this question. Now move on to the last question of today's session, that is question number 12. Let's have a discussion on that. Yeah. What is this question number 12? Right? Yes, I'm reading the question over here again. Question number 12 says, a point on the hypotenuse of right angle triangle is at a distance A and B from the sides of the triangle. Show that the maximum length of the hypotenuse is something, figure is given. So first I'll try to write this triangle A. Given triangle is a right angled triangle. Right angled triangle. And we have to show what to show? What to show? Length of hypotenuse is maximum and its length is equal to something. So first try to draw the figure, because without figure you can't imagine what I'm going to discuss. So let us, the length of the right angle triangle is L. We have to show L is maximum and the length of this value is a to the power of 2 by 3 plus b to the power of 2 by 3 whole to the power of 3 by 2. And there is a point, not a midpoint, it may be a general point. There is a point P on the hypotenuse which is maintaining some distance from both the legs of the perpendicular, right? You put distance maintain करना A units and B units from the sides of the triangle. I'll try to draw the figure in a proper way. Yeah. So this is the distance of the point P from this side, means perpendicular distance only. When we talk about distance, we are talking about perpendicular distance P, Q and R. Let us say this length is A and this length is B. So this is a question and we need to prove that you may also name this point like A, B, C is a right angled triangle. So we need to prove that the length of this hypotenuse is maximum and that maximum length would be given by this expression. And what is P point? P is a point on the hypotenuse such that it maintaining A unit distance from this side and B unit distance from this side. So this is the information given to us. When you are saying this is a distance, means they are treated as a constants. A and B are constants. Now what we can do and how we start? First, length of the hypotenuse has to be maximum, that is clearly mentioned. So first it means that length function has to be maximized. So length function is required first. So I'll try to make the length function what I can write. Length of the L is given by AP plus PC. So this has to be maximum. So I required length of AP, length of PC, then only I can go for derivative and all the process. So how can I get the length of AP and length of PC? So we are having two right angled triangles for that. Okay, so let us take some angle over here, that is acute angle theta. So definitely it will be a theta, because if this is a right angle triangle and these two are already perpendicular, it means these two are corresponding angles. Okay, so with the help of this right angle triangles, by using the trigonometric ratios, I will be able to get the length of AP and length of PC. By adding both the values, I will be able to frame the length form function. Then I will go for derivative. So from this, I'll try to find the length of AP first here. So I know the perpendicular value, right? And I wanted to find the what length of hypotenuse. So ultimately, in triangle APQ, this is a lower triangle I'm talking about. I apply tan theta, which will be given by B upon AP. So AP will be B by tan theta or B cot theta. So this is the result number one. Now in triangle, which one? PRC. PRC. So I know the length of base and I want to find the length of hypotenuse. So the suitable T ratio is cot theta, which will be given by A by PC. Or you may also write PC is equal to A by cot theta or A tan theta. So this is what the result number 2. So I know now length of AP, length of PC in terms of theta. Theta is a variable because I have introduced the variable. So I am writing L is equal to AP B cot theta plus it is A tan theta. So I got a length function first to do the derivative, to show its maximum and to find the length as this. Okay, so just keep these points in our mind. AP is this, PC is this, and with the help of AC and PC, I am able to find the length function. Now I go with the derivative, double derivative, and equal to 0 and all. First, let L dash will be cot theta derivative is what? Derivative of cot theta is what? Cosec theta into cot theta minus cosec theta into cot theta. So minus B cosec theta into cot theta. Derivative of tan theta is equal to what? Sec square theta. Tan theta is equal, derivative of tan theta is what? Sec square theta. So that's it. I have used that one formula here. मैंने इसका formula use किया. What is that? Cot theta is equal to, अरे मैंने कुछ गड़बड़ कर दिया. डेरिवेटिव मैंने रॉन्ग यूज किया, तो मैं करेक्ट कर रहा हूं यहां से. Minus cot के derivative is minus cosec square theta and derivative of tan theta is what? Sec square theta. This is the second result. Then L double dash means again derivative, minus B as a constant. It become what? 2 cosec theta into derivative of cosec theta is equal to minus cosec theta into cot theta. So minus cosec theta into cot theta हो जाएगा. Similarly, A into derivative of sec square theta is what? 2 sec theta into sec theta derivative is sec theta into tan theta. So just simplify this. Minus into minus plus 2, you can take it as a common factor. it become cosec square theta into cot theta. So b cosec square theta into cot theta plus a sec square theta into tan theta. This is result number 3. Then let L dash equal to 0, which means that this entire function minus b cosec square theta plus a sec square theta equal to 0, which will be what? A sec square theta is equal to b cosec square theta. You need to convert into a single t ratio, so for that I am using what? Sin and cos terms में मैं convert कर लेता हूँ ताकि थीटा की वैल्यू मिल जाए. इसको 1 by cos लिख सकता हूँ, इसको 1 by sin, रेसिप्रोकल्स लिख सकता हूँ. So it become what? A by cos square theta equal to b by sin square theta. Do the cross multiplication. So sin square theta by cos square theta is equal to b by a. It becomes what? Tan square theta is equal to b by a. It becomes what? Tan theta is equal to under root of that r, b by a whole to the power of 1 by 2. Positive only because theta is an acute angle. So I got a critical point over here. Now at this critical point I have to prove that double derivative, that is L double dash, is something. उसको प्रूफ करना बाकी है, वो हम करेंगे अभी. उसके लिए मैं ये पार्ट रफ कर रहा हूं. देखिए व्हाट इज दैट. कोशिश करते हैं बस डबल डेरिवेटिव. नाउ L डबल डैश, साइन ऑफ L डबल डैश क्या होगा? राइट. सो L डबल डैश में क्या है? कोसेक थीटा है, कॉट थीटा है, सेक थीटा एंड टैन थीटा. इन सब की वैल्यू हमें चाहिए, तो सिर्फ हमारा पास टैन थीटा की वैल्यू है और टैन थीटा का रेसिप्रोकल होता है कॉट थीटा, तो इसकी वैल्यू भी मिल जाएगा बिकॉज इसको सिर्फ रिवर्स ही करना है. नाउ बट वी आर रिक्वायर्ड कोसेक एंड सेक थीटा. दैट्स व्हाई वी नीड टू फाइंड द थर्ड साइड ऑफ द राइट एंगल्ड ट्रायंगल. सो हियर आई एम यूजिंग व्हाट? right angled triangle concept. If tan theta is this, it means perpendicular upon base. I know perpendicular is 1 b power 1 by 2. Base is a power 1 by 2. By applying the Pythagoras theorem, square of this value into square of this value and whole to the power of क्या होगा? कुछ मिसिंग तो नहीं? मुझे लग रहा है कुछ तो मिसिंग है. Tan theta has to be, yeah, okay, fine. Is a plus b हो जाएगा, square of this and square of this, it will be under root of plus a b हो जाएगा, r a plus b whole power 1 by 2 होगा. a cot theta plus b tan theta cosec square theta tan x square x 2 cosec theta minus cosec theta into cot theta sec theta 2 sec theta into sec theta into tan theta plus 2 cosec square theta into cot theta sec square theta into tan theta, 2 common, yeah, L double dash is clear. अब इसमें हम लोग ये ले लिया है. डबल डैश में पुट करने से पहले हमें थर्ड पार्ट चाहिए, इसलिए हम लिख रहे हैं A by cos square theta, B by sin square theta. So tan square theta and tan theta is equal to this. So this is perpendicular upon base, perpendicular upon base. So length of hypotenuse is equal to square of this plus square of this. It will be given by under root of A plus B. Somewhere else some mistake is done. Just I am leaving this sum over here. Just we'll take this sum again in the next lecture. I might have committed some mistake over somewhere else. Just you need to find it out. You may complete the sum from your end, or else I will clear in the next session. I need to look to where I have committed the mistake. Right now, nothing is striked in my mind. Okay, fine. So just practice this question where you can able to prove this length is maximum and you will able to find the length of the hypotenuse just by substituting the tan value and cot value over here. यहाँ आप put करेंगे तो भी आपको मिल जाएगा, right? I got the wrong critical point, what I guess. Okay. Otherwise, the methodology is same. The method is same. There is no doubt. Method तो same है. Method definitely workout भी होगा. आप इसी तरीके से proceed होइए. Then we will see in the next session. Okay. So thank you watching me since so long. And in the next session with the second, that is session 7. Again, I'm going to take the HOTS, but not on maxima minima, on the tangents and normal concept, and that is going to be the last session of the chapter. So that is what HOTS on tangents and normal concept. So be ready for that. Thank you all of you for watching me, and take care. Bye bye, see you, and we'll meet in session 7.